We ain't finding out today, my brother. All right, now we're live though. Oh, boom. What up? What up? What up? Fucking Francis Kenneth's fucking 21,000 follower
Bro,
Instagram,
let's
dude.
not even talk about that right now.
Did I make it? Did I make it?
Bro, you've been made it. You're the real influencer here.
Did you pull me up?
You're the real influencer in here.
So, first of all, what up, dude? We got to crack in about, you asked me how I was doing.
Yeah.
And the answer to that question is, I don't think I can quantify just how fucking rad everything has been, dude.
Why is
Everything. Well, first of all, I've scheduled my time about 3 times a week that I get to have people like you on, and so my life is always changing. The moods are always. It's always turning into something else. This podcast has allowed for such variety.
For sure.
In almost not only the shit that I learn on a day-to-day basis from other people, but just being socially connected and being frequently reminded that it's bigger than just what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, because we spend most of our days just going through, seeing what we see with our own two eyes, and if we can't feel it with our own hands or hear it with our own ears and shit, we forget that it's not happening.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's super humbling to fucking to be able to have all these people on like yourself, and you're definitely one of the bigger league dudes.
No, man.
Having on.
No.
I'm
actually an imposter today.
You know what's so funny is I don't know if your Instagram, your following knows you, but you rip at drums. Do they know that? Do you ever bust some drum shit on the Instagram?
Maybe. Sometimes, but like little hints. Like,
thing.
I don't really talk about music on my Instagram as much as I should. And
only
so,
if you got like a scarf on or some shit that matches the drum set.
Nah. Honestly, like it's just like if I'm playing a show or you know, like if I'm doing stuff with Corey. Shout out Corey Wells.
Yeah, shout out Corey Wells.
Where you at right now, man?
Yeah, Corey's definitely playing fucking video games right now.
For sure.
Yeah, he's obsessed with it.
But you know, like if we're doing something with him, other than that, like it's kind of all just like suggested. Just like recently, I started this thing called #FK It's Monday, where like I'm really honing in on just like music that I really fuck with. You know what I mean? And I'm sure you know, like we listen to a lot of different shit. Like
I think you have to, right?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. And so it wasn't until recently that I like really made music a part of my like brand image, so to speak.
For sure.
Because I think before I was like all talk. So now I'm like trying to have those real conversations.
Yeah.
You know, with my followers and you know hopefully platforms like using this one with you.
Yeah. The fuck, man. I mean, if nowadays has a theme, it's platforms, man. I
100%.
mean, there's all kinds of platforms, and you know that's a good thing and a bad thing. Like you can be very misdirected with the information you're given online, you know, by just some fucking lonely dude in a basement with negative shit to say. You can take a lot of that shit to heart, man, and that would pull you in the wrong direction. So it's no longer only the professionals given with the platforms. Now it's everything, which is a blessing and a curse. Dude, so me and you, we've always been buddies, and we've been to parties together and stuff, but we've never actually gotten the chance to sit down and fucking size each other up. First of all, let's talk about when I think of your repertoire, if you will. I think of, first of all, the polar opposites, at least maybe to me because I'm not knowledgeable of it, but that you are a Navy veteran, and now a fashionista,
something like that,
like a major fashionista. I mean, and dude, I want to know I want to know the story, dude.
I mean, I guess starting with the Navy.
Yeah,
sure,
for sure.
Right?
Perfect place to start.
Dude, I was like real talk. I was at Cal State Fullerton, right? Just like doing my thing, and one day like this army recruiter comes out of nowhere and was like, hey, and I was just sitting there like and waiting for my class to start. He's like, have you ever thought about joining the military? And I was like, I mean, yeah, I mean my dad was in the military, my grandpa was in the military.
Oh, okay.
You know, I like love that was like at a time when like war movies were tight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
War movies still be tight. You
I
don't
know,
think
but
they're tight anymore?
No, I love them, but like they just don't make them. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
how it was back in like 2000s.
Yeah, there was that Saving Private Ryan era,
Yeah,
son.
dude,
Black
for sure.
Black Hawk Down.
Exactly.
I forgot who was on, but
now it's all like superhero shit, right?
Yeah, which is cool, but I mean, bring back some more shit.
For sure. For sure.
I mean, but listen to me say that. I mean, what? We don't need any more wars from movie content. Make up a fucking war.
Yeah, just make
you
one
know,
up.
just use some realistic ass guns.
Well, that's why like, you know, like superhero shit is like popping, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what it essentially is between good and evil or
Yeah,
whatever the
yeah,
case
yeah.
may be.
But fictional villains. I think it got squirrely
Yeah.
nowadays. Like now you can't make a movie about Black Hawk Down without like a couple Somalian fools getting on Facebook and be like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
taking
saying?
offense,
It was
sure.
different. Back then it was like they would have had to write a postcard.
Yeah.
You know, waiting if they didn't pay for that fucking stampage, then that shit's, you know, it's not getting to the studio for 6 months.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot more raw. I mean, that's just like across the board, right? Like
For
social
sure.
media is just like changing how everything is perceived.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
and
trippy.
so like we gotta like sugarcoat everything that we do. And don't get me wrong, like I'm like as open minded and forward, progressively thinking as there can be, but at the same time, I still come from like an older millennial generation where like we didn't have internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like we kind of understand like the nuances of our parents, grandparents.
Yeah.
Where shit was raw, dude.
Yeah.
And that's just not the case anymore.
Yeah. It's definitely changed. And that's again, I mean, I think that we're in the era of trying to figure all that shit out, right?
Yeah.
We're going to figure out if like, I think we're trying to figure out right now if participation trophies and shit is the way to go.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
not.
like should
It's not.
everything be cushioned right now?
No.
Like, should we be nerfing life because some of those lessons are the lessons that, you know, make you be like, well, I need to start fucking practicing then. You
Yeah.
know, no shortcuts.
Yeah.
There's
And
something to
I
be
think
said
that's
for
what's
that.
like the biggest differences between, you know, our parents and like the Gen Zers is that first and foremost, like we are hands down going to be the best generation that ever lived in existence, right? Because we have like the traditions and the cultural background that our parents gave us,
Mm-hmm.
but then we also have like this very good understanding of technology and its importance on everything. So it's a combination of working hard and working smart,
Right.
right? And that's like where the gap is. And I'm not even gonna lie, like I'm not even pretending like I made that up. I read that somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like that shit makes sense. Like our parents worked hard, but maybe not efficiently or smart.
Right.
And like these Gen Z kids, like they're not hard workers, but they know how to make technology or, you know, work in ways that like will happen quickly.
We're
right?
able to utilize the tools.
Exactly. And we have
Well, maybe
both.
we have more tools, you
We
know?
have both. Like as like people our age, like
Right.
we have both, and we understand what it was like before and what it is like now.
Yeah.
And we can apply both of those elements.
Is there an age that is younger than us? Not to point any fucking fingers here. Is there an age that's younger than us that is maybe missing the ship because of all of the rules and guidelines?
I think
Not rules and guidelines. I'm sorry. That was I kind of misfired that word. Because of all the padding on the furniture and all the
I think so. I mean, like I have a sister who's like right at the cusp of like being a Gen Zer. Like honestly, she's not really a millennial, but
is millennial the overly cautious about sensitivity? Is
no. We're millennials.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
the Gen Zers are like the kids that are born, I think, after 99. I'd have to look it up on like
Okay.
Wikipedia or some shit.
yo, shout out anyone born after 99.
Hey,
by the
my
way,
bad though. No
hey,
offense.
you'll get as you get older, you'll realize don't trip out if it's not about you. No need to trip.
Right.
You know, but I think that it's obvious that there are a group of individuals out there who want to throw a wrench in the cogs.
Yeah.
You know, without maybe thinking about what that means.
Yeah. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you can't have good without the bad. You know what I
Right,
mean?
for
So,
sure.
Like, there
And
needs to be like a devil's advocate for every situation.
And I believe that, you know, some of these points are valid. You know, like I don't believe that a man should be making choices for a woman's body.
Right.
You know,
100%.
I do. There are a lot of midway points where I'm like, yes, that seems common sense. But a lot like, are we trying to find an understanding or are we just fighting? That's what it
Right.
comes down to, you know.
Right.
And
Right.
I'll listen to anybody who thinks that. I'll listen to anybody who is trying to meet me with a sense of understanding.
Yeah.
But if you
100%.
just want to fight with me, I'm getting older, bro. I'm
100%.
gonna be 30 soon.
Yeah.
You know, I can't just be fighting with people.
Dude, you're almost at the club, man.
I know, but the club's not bad.
It's not. It's
You
not.
know, if somebody told me I had to go back and be 21, I'd be bummed.
I would be too.
I'd be bummed
for you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but what about you? Would you be stoked? Like, if
no, dude, not at all.
What if
not at all.
what if right now, when the army recruiter was like,
oh no.
"Have you ever thought about your future, son?"
Yeah.
You just now snapped out of it, and you're shaking his hand still. What would you do?
I would definitely repeat almost everything in the way that I did to lead up to where I am now.
Good for you.
Like, I mean, there are a few exceptions here and there, and I don't regret them.
That sounds like a man who loves where he's at right now.
I mean, like, you have to accept that everything that you did made you the best version of yourself, because there only is you.
Absolutely.
No one can dictate that.
Yeah.
Right. But if like, boom, I was back at like what, 20 years old, 19 years old, and that guy came back up to me, like 100%, I would do the exact same thing. Granted, so I guess going back to this story, since we've deviated a little.
Yeah.
This guy comes up to me at Cal State Fullerton, and
what are you going to school for?
At the time, it was kind of mixed, but like I'm Filipino, so like nursing was like the natural direction to go.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's like a thing.
Yeah, it is. Like,
I got a lot of South American homies who go to dental school.
Oh,
like,
is that a thing?
Yeah. I
Oh,
think
shit.
so.
Oh.
I think so. Like a lot of my I was my coworker was Colombian and found a community of Colombian folks, and it seems like one of every 4 people was doing teeth, which is strange. I don't know. Yeah,
I did not know that was a thing. I mean,
yeah, that might not be a fucking thing, but or maybe Sebastian hangs out with a bunch of fucking dentists,
like-minded individuals.
Yeah, shout out Sebastian, miss you, brother.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. So you're going to school for nursing?
Yeah. I guess, and
I guess we could start getting this cracking. Check out the screen. Boom. What's up? There's your close up.
What's good? And so.
You don't have to look at the camera. You can still look
I
at me.
definitely don't plan to, because it's just weird.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like, I say fuck it. Like, let's go. Right.
Right.
And I'm signing all like the paperwork. And he's just like hyping me up. Right. That's like a recruiter's job, is just to make you feel empowered, feel motivated.
He's like, look at you sign that paper. That
that
hand's gonna
shit
shoot
like
guns, son.
Shit like that, right? And then literally the day that I'm supposed to swear in, my mom gives me a call. Right. And this is, what year is this? 2007. Right. So like, there's a lot of shit going on still. And my mom gives me a call. She's crying. She's like, don't do it. I don't want you to do it. Like, there's a lot of shit going on, and this is not a good idea. So in my mind, I was just like, I definitely want to do this, but I also didn't give the other branches a chance. Right. So my dad was in the Air Force. My grandpa was in the Army. I was like, let me go talk to all these people and see what's up.
Wait, hold on. Can we pause for a second?
Yeah.
So you weren't like, damn, mom. All right, I won't join the service. You translated her saying don't do it as her not wanting you to pick the army?
Nah. No. Yeah. No, it wasn't like that. It was more so like I could empathize with what she was implying, because like, had I joined the army, given what I wanted to do, which was like in the medical field naturally, like, not that joining the Navy was going to be any better, because in actuality, I never like really was with the Navy. Like, I was with the Army Air Force on deployment, and then after that, I was with Marines. But I think that was just like a surefire way, like at that time, to go into the shit. My mom was worried. So, I go talk to all these other branches. First one I think was like the Air Force, right? Because my dad's hyped about that shit. He used to fly planes, fly jets.
Maverick.
Yeah, my dad. And I talked to this lady, at the LA Air Force Base in Gunda, and like, she did not motivate me at all. I was just like, yo, this is weak. And I was like, my perception of my dad like changed that moment, because I was just like, you're in this? Like, I did not feel hype about. And shout out to the Air Force or whatever. But
shout out Air Force. Did you tell her?
No. I kept it all in. But there's a reason why their nickname is called the Chair Force, right? Is because like, not that all of them are like that, but like there's like a stereotype that they're just like the most chill, laid back department.
The Chair Force.
The Chair Force, yeah.
Now, what happens if you say Chair Force to somebody who's in the Air Force?
The Air Force, they probably just laughed.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's just like their vibe.
But
right?
it's not like, don't bring that shit up, man. I didn't want to sit down.
No. Like every branch of the military actually pretty much fucking hates each other to an extent.
Really? I know Army and Navy physically play sports against each other.
Yeah, exactly.
But I heard that everybody fucks with the Marines.
Yeah, everyone's down for the Marines.
Because the Marines, they're like, if they roll through, shit's gonna get done.
Yeah.
Let
me put how the military
teach
works
me,
in
brother.
Bro. Like,
this is fucking.
Let's say we go into a war, right? The Marines are the first ones in. They fucking kill everyone and everything in sight. And I'm sorry, I know that's like very insensitive, but that's just like historically how it's worked. And then the Army goes in and they set up camp, right? They establish like the base, whatever. The Navy, for the most part, with the exception of corpsmen, which is what I was, they do a lot of the logistics of like shipping, whatever supplies are needed, right, through the ships. And the Air Force is kind of like support to like do surveillance before and after. And sometimes like maybe even before the Marines, they'll like go blow shit up with their jets and then like call it a day. You know what I'm saying? So they're always like taking like a back seat.
Chair Force.
Yeah, Chair Force.
Okay, I get it.
So yeah, that's how that shit typically, I would say, works at least.
For sure. So if I got a question.
Yeah.
So because it's so like laid back and everybody kind of knows that Chair Force is the Chair Force. Yo, shout out, any of those fools could fucking snap me in half. I get it. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is in what sense, and it could just be, hey man, it's the uniform, it's the camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
But what did your dad used to tell you was his favorite part of Air Force? Because I could see like the stories were like, I was holed up in some fucking rock with three dudes, and we just had a fucking AR, and we started pulling out our teeth and shooting that out of the gun because we ran out of bullets. I get that story, but Air Force, what did your dad, what were the stories growing up? Why did he love the Air Force as much as he did?
So for him, it was like that love of flying. Like,
oh, that's right. He was a pilot.
Yeah. So
my older brother's a pilot.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, even to this day, like, it's been so long since my dad like flew anything, but like he still remembers that shit like second nature.
For sure.
Right. And even like when we watch like commercials or movies or whatever, like, and it involves flying, like he has like this immediate high, just like how like it is for me for music or, maybe your podcast.
Yeah. No, I'm into a lot of shit. That's kind of my problem. That's why I'm having a podcast with everybody who does shit on. It's just because it took me 28 years to admit I can't put my fucking finger on anything. I just fucking love everything.
Well, I love that you're doing that, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. My brother knew he wanted to be a pilot, like 20 minutes after he came out of my mom, like, damn. And it's, well, I'm exaggerating, but it's, they say that pilots, that's one of the jobs where you're like, oh, what the fuck's that thing? That's an airplane. Okay, I'm doing that forever.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And he's always done that. Yeah. And it's just kind of like, even as young as he could, he was at the Hawthorne flying spot. So I wonder if your dad had the same kind of childhood. It was just like, hey, what the fuck's that UFO? That's actually called an airplane. Oh, we're doing that.
Yeah.
That's
actually a really good question that I never asked him. So I'm gonna hit him up tonight.
There you go.
Like, hey, like, why did you want to do this?
This is a podcast.
But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where, like he loved it and he still loves it. And actually recently, like from my birthday last year, I took a flying lesson. Shout out to Tiff for that.
Shout out fucking Tiff. Flying lessons.
I took a flying lesson because for the longest time I was like, you know what, like, I think I want to go to flying school, right? So,
because you wanted to love flying as much as your dad, because
for sure. Yeah.
Because you wanted another thing to be like, hey, Dad, I'm a pilot.
Yeah,
like, let me sit closer to you at Thanksgiving.
Exactly, like,
for sure.
I feel like, I mean, maybe it's an Asian thing, but like I always like looked for his like attention and his approval
all the time.
and
It's a son thing.
yeah, for sure.
It's a
so
son
just
thing.
Like, I think I want to do this, right?
For sure.
So I take this flying lesson. It's a fixed wing, and I'm up there. I'm like, yo, this shit is fucking boring, bro.
No way.
Yeah,
Really?
Like, it was tight to be up there and to know that like I was co-piloting like a plane and like literally 3 people's lives were in my hands. But at the same time, I was like,
you're like, yo, I
like,
could drive.
not moving as fast as I anticipated. And
yeah,
like,
you thought it'd be fucking.
I thought it'd be
Kenny
hauling ass,
Loggins,
like
fucking
yeah,
danger
dude,
zone.
I thought it'd be like a jet, like my dad would describe, right?
Yeah.
And I was up there and I was like, yo, this shit's fucking lame, dude. Not for me.
So you went to go break his heart and turned into a model.
No. So, this
I'm
predates
I'm
that.
so playing. I'm
I'm not even
All right,
tripping.
don't even fucking acknowledge that.
Yeah. And then I told him, I was like, dude, like, oh, isn't that fun? But like, I'm glad that you find enjoyment in that.
Yeah.
So that isn't to say that I'm gonna rule out rotary, right? So like maybe I'm gonna try doing like a helicopter lesson and see if that changes things. 'Cause
for
there's
sure.
so many more like moving parts to fly a plane, like going up and down, side to
for
side,
sure.
et cetera.
And it's and you can get away with more shit. I feel like I feel like if you can get the helicopter vibe down, like you can fly it like through downtown, take it, and apparently you can park your fucking helicopter anywhere. It's nuts.
It's
like
tight.
there's a helicopter parking everywhere.
It's
apparently,
tight.
you just
Yeah.
get the clearance and send that bitch anywhere. I didn't know, but we're so manipulated. Not manipulated is so stupid to use in 2019, but we have such a misunderstanding of how far away things are.
Oh, dude,
because
for sure.
we can't fucking get there in a straight line. Apparently, helicopter ride from here to Disneyland is like 15 minutes. Straight line.
How long is it like on a regular
No,
drive?
you gotta go down to the 90.
Right.
You gotta come through
traffic.
Yeah, traffic.
It's like an hour and a half. Then.
Yeah, fuck, dude.
No, that sounds about right though.
Yeah, but just bouncing. And apparently there's like spots you can park and get out and live boss life, dude. You just got to Disneyland in 15 minutes. You're good. You can throw in the towel.
It's funny, like that reminds me of Kobe, the GOAT.
Yeah.
He used to live in Orange County.
Are you a
right?
Lakers fan?
Yeah, dude, die hard.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Shout out Lakers. AD.
Shout out.
If you're watching this, AD,
yo,
congrats.
shout out Derek Fisher and the 0.4 second
dude,
shot.
he
dude.
came in when I was working at Starbucks. Derek Fisher came in my like into the Starbucks, and I was like, dude, this guy's ripped, bro. Like, because against other players, like he looks so small.
Yeah,
but like that dude's built like a pit bull.
No,
I was like, dude, I would not fuck with this guy. He will literally kill everyone in here.
Yeah. Okay. So small in the NBA is like giant out on the street.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you think about like the bullies in like how scary is Ron Artest out in the street? You know, in his day and shit. Sure. Kevin Garnett,
bro, he's like 6'10", 7.
Yeah, scary with a face that could like should be outside of like the castle, like guarding.
Yeah,
he's fucking scary looking.
Yeah.
He's got those eyes.
Yeah,
perfect Timberwolves.
Yeah.
He looks like one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Kobe.
Oh,
Kobe used to live in Orange County.
This is how these podcasts work. We talk about nothing for 2 hours.
So he lived in Orange County, and that fool, like a G that he was, would take a helicopter to the games at Staples Center. He wouldn't drive. He would take a helicopter to every single home game. That's what I'm told.
Because he's got to get there first.
Yeah.
He's the most competitive dude in the
he'd
NBA.
be there like hours before the game, hours before like warm-ups. Like from what I'm told, like he used to turn down his kids on like Christmas Eve so that he can practice before the Christmas games.
Yeah.
Like if that isn't passion, then I don't know what it is, man.
Yeah, but see, and that's that you know that's fucked up. Is like, Corey just said hi, Francis.
Oh, what up, Corey?
See, okay, so I got that. That's the chat thing right there. Probably should have brought that to your attention.
Yeah, it's tight.
People asking you questions and shit. So yeah.
For the record, I know nothing about Twitch. So
to be real, Twitch is about to get bounced on. I used to stream video games.
Right.
That's what I wanted to do.
Right. That's what I know about Twitch. Is like people stream video games.
I'm over it. I'm over it. It's great. I like that there's like subscriptions, and if you subscribe to me for $5 a month, you're invited to my Discord, which is like an iChat channel with different. It's a server.
Yeah.
And there's different channels, and that's where I pretty much put free art there. By the way, speaking of free art, I give all of my guests an art piece that's yours. So every month, every fucking person who has seen this podcast has heard me say this, but I'm sorry. I'm going to get this down.
Personalizing shit? What
Yeah, for sure. So you see the squirt gun up on the fucking whiteboard?
Yeah.
So that was against like child abuse awareness. This month it's we're donating to the Trevor Project, which is crisis prevention and suicide prevention in the LGBTQ community because it's Pride Month.
Dude, good on you, man. That's tight.
We pick, and last month child abuse awareness, and there was like a assessment center out in Pomona that we donated to. So, and I got I'm a firm believer that if you want a clean city, clean up your block type thing. Facts. So all of my donations tend to be in the Los Angeles area, in hopes that there will be another ollenkilledit in, you know, wherever in the fucking Bakersfield area donating to those charities. And, you know, and that's how we fucking make something happen. But every month there's a different design, and I like the layout you see in that screen right there on the monitor, like how that pertains to the art. Every month I make a new layout and new art. And to bring it back to the subscribers, if you subscribe to the channel, you get phone wallpaper and desktop wallpaper and shit. So it's just a cool way. And the subscription is $5 a month. That shit just goes back into the stream. I don't know how to not spend money on this stream because I'm just like fucking keep blowing it up. But it's fun, dude.
Looks dope, dude.
Thanks, bro. So yeah, that's that. Well, let's see. In pure fucking podcast fashion. Oh, Twitch. Yeah, we're bouncing. I was like, it's a cool way. The business model, or lack of, is for every new follower on Twitch, I donate $1 to charity. But now, ever since I've been putting shit on YouTube, this used to be exclusively on Twitch, and people would follow because you had to be on Twitch and following me to get the notification. But now, like, I have homies who, you know, surf all day, and like people who are so detached from like the Twitch community that it's so foreign to them, and like they wouldn't know how to follow and stuff because it's clunky. They never are on Twitch. So I'm gonna have to think of something else. Now it's on YouTube. This is actually being streamed to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at the same time right now.
Damn.
And yeah, it's just kind of like I don't want any exclusive. Like I don't want to be on any exclusive channel. What I want is for as many people to hear what you have to say as possible. You know what I'm saying? So I have to figure this shit is always changing. I mean, if you could think of day one, I was playing video games and I was seriously convinced that I could fucking make people laugh for like 8 hours a day playing a fucking video game. I don't even know how much I love video games. Like it was crazy. And that has, you know, rolled all the way into I was playing video games with friends, sitting next to them. One camera, we had a camera on the table and like sitting fucking shoulder to shoulder. It was fucking bad, dude. Shout out.
Videos of this?
What's up?
You got videos of this?
Yeah. I mean, they've kind of diminished it, but you won't see anything like this right here. Look at the screen. Yeah. So we used to sit in like that screen. See that small ass little corner up there? We used to just sit in a screen like that. And I would play video games, and that's why it's the local only session. But I still don't mind the name local only sessions because we're in front of one screen. Yeah. And I used to sit and play video games, and it was like a gaming thing with people on. And the thing about that is not everybody likes to play video games, and I would invite people on who are brilliant people, but you know they categorize it as like, oh, well, I'm not really that good at video games, so I'm going to take a pass, man. I'm like, no, but you're brilliant. Like, I want to just get you to come talk into a microphone. And a lot of people were thrown off by the video game vibe, so I said, fuck it. And I've always been a fan of JRE. I think a lot of people are, you know, Joe Rogan podcast, shout out. Yeah. I've always been a fan of conversation. I love talking to people. I like YouTube conversations. If I find out like Senator Trey Gowdy fucking trips out on somebody or something, I go and listen. I love conversation, you know, and as times get more confusing, as technology develops and we get farther and farther into this calendar, these one-on-one conversations have never been more important.
Yeah.
And so I've just kind of, but the more podcasts I do, the more I let go of like any potential fame this could be, because, you know, I stopped daydreaming and it's turned into like how just important these are. And every time I finish one of these, I feel like we made it. Like we finish and it's like, holy fuck, me and Francis sat for 2 hours. He fucking was awesome. It was positive. It was awesome. People learned from it. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to do this. And it's just exciting.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking win, like multiple times a week. And I could do that. I don't have any money to my name. I'm in fucking all this credit card debt doing all this shit. I've never felt more fucking rich.
Yeah.
And this is just what it's about right now, dude. And I am having a hard time figuring out how I'm going to want to make this money, because I don't even know where to start, because I'm having such a good time just it being like free conversation. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so scared to lose that vibe.
Yeah.
That I don't know what to do to like monetize this at all. I don't give a fuck. I would rather work some bullshit 7 to 4. Shout out. That is paying me as much as a dishwasher, so that I could just keep a roof over my head, keep this electricity going, so that we can keep doing this.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where I'm at right now. Just try to simplify as much shit as possible.
Dude, honestly, like, and I would imagine that for everyone that watches your streams, watches you for that exact reason. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you know, but what you just said was like some humble, down to earth, real ass shit. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't watched all of your podcast series, but yeah, man, that was some real stuff. And you should, like, every once in a while, just like take a step back and be like, yo, like we killed it today. I killed it today. You know what I mean?
Olin killed it, fool.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
And because of this, first of all, I really appreciate you saying that, but I feel like I'm doing my part in order for that to happen. Like, I'm sober and I'm not eating meat, and I'm like, I have a responsibility to upkeep in order for this to be recognized as a positive podcast, and for people to vibe with this and understand it for the positivity that I love it for. I can't be getting fucked up on my free time. I can't get out of shape. I can't, like, I hold myself up to a certain responsibility now, because it's like, yo, man, like, how the fuck am I gonna fucking tell people to take care of themselves, love each other? Now go get blacked out tonight. You know, like, I can't be like that. And I love everybody. Everybody's decision is everybody's decision, but I need people to be able to lean on me like a kickstand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And whatever they're going through, I want people to be able to reach out to me, you know, and be like, hey, Drew, like, fucking this shit's going on. And I can't give everybody the best Andrew I got unless
you're giving yourself the best Andrew.
And exactly. And I don't have any time to drink or anything anymore, because right now what's most important to me is you. And in order for me to be the best, dude, you came all the way here, and this is for all of my guests. You deserve to have the best me. You know what I'm saying? Not hungover, not high, you know, not anything, not like I can't have a cigarette addiction, because I want to be listening to everything you have to say. I don't want to be worrying about a cigarette and shit. So it's changed all these things. I've shaved all this fat off of my life so that I can sit here and fucking give you what you need, and all of my other guests and my viewers who can comment and ask questions or whatever,
100%.
whatever they need for at least 2 hours a night, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and sometimes motherfucking Saturday.
Dude, and honestly, like, I've been like following like your journey on Facebook, just seeing like all the shit that you have to say. I'm like, dude, that right there is a real fucking influencer. And for the record, I work with influencers, like 9 to 5, right? And I think there's a misconception of like what that is, right? And you, by doing you and doing this like in such a humble way, that you're just trying to raise awareness for what people are doing, regardless of what their status is, regardless of what the fuck they do.
Right.
Like, that's what it really means to inspire people, and you're doing that, dude. So keep that shit up.
Thanks,
dude.
man. And the truth is I only feel this way because I was so fucking lost.
Yeah.
You know, I spent so much time in the mirror trying to figure out who the fuck I am. I've literally have tried everything and have bought all the gear to be the best at it. Like, I fucking had always fallen short, and I spent so much time trying to figure out who I am that one day I just fucking accepted myself and said, you know what? What if that's my identity? What if I'm just a student? Like, what if I'm just here to fucking just be a sponge and absorb and build a platform so people who knew that they were going to be a musician their entire life, knew that they were going to be the world's deepest scuba diver, knew all this shit. What if I can just be a positive outlet for them to come on, teach people their shit? I can take some of that with me. It's a fucking win-win, man. And this is what that shit is, my brother.
Dude, I'm curious though, like what was that turning point for you? Like what triggered you to be like, you know what, I need to do this?
Well, I mean, it's come a long way. I got a graphic design degree.
Tell, man, this shit's killer.
Oh, thanks, dude. I actually went to apply to the school for a music degree, and they were like, we need to see transcripts of your high school. And I was like, oh, you guys are gonna like this shit. And they looked and they were like, yo, idiot, we can't put you in the audio program. Like, did you even go to school? And the truth is not really, man. I was so focused on going to class with nothing in my backpacks in hopes that I could show up to class and make people laugh and shit. And that would be a healthy day of learning for me.
Were you successful?
Yeah. I mean, I think, well, yeah, but I don't know. It turned into, there's a sense of you chasing this superficial 5 minutes of approval. And that carried on to my conversations at parties and stuff. Like, I would see people, I would make conversations, and then I would go fake a bathroom break before I said something stupid or something. Like, I would only allow people fractions of me, because really at heart, I was really insecure and very on eggshells about making the wrong move to not being in this person's favor anymore. And it was exhausting. And I think because of that, I just was always smoking pot. I don't know. It might have been some like fucking old school family shit that happened back in the day, but pretty much I got my graphic design degree. I didn't do anything with it. I was smoking pot every day. I was stoned for like 10 years straight. I was drinking. I smoked about a pack a day for about 10 years straight. Wow. I was doing coke. And I just fucking was up one night at 2 in that weird, awkward time where like the moon has finished its rotation and it's starting to come back around the other side, and that the sky's turning into that weird gray where you know that you shouldn't have been up this long. And I fucking was just like, is this it, man? Like, is this it? I'm now, I think I was 27, or no, I was 28 because I got sober. I got sober like August of last year. So
congrats, man.
Thanks, seriously, bro. But it was more than just like me not needing drugs anymore. It was just the batteries in the flashlight. It was just something that needed to happen it was like me going on an expedition, and me not doing drugs anymore is just the pick, but I still needed a jacket. I still needed to learn all of this shit about myself. I still needed to fucking be me for a second, and so I mean, I just stopped and I just tried to do all the things right. I was miserable. If anybody out there fighting the sober fight, man, there was 2 months there where, man, I was borderline in tears. I couldn't figure out. I started getting involved with charities and stuff because I was like, man, I feel so shitty. Like, maybe helping people will make me feel less shitty, and nothing worked. Shout out Cameron Brown. I went down to clean the beach. Not because I fucking wanted to clean the beach, but because I was tired of feeling like shit, and I thought if maybe I helped something else, it would help me, but it didn't. And so, but I kept doing that. And all of a sudden, through repetition and hard work and shit, and I mean hard work, not like staying up and fucking studying or getting something done. I mean like gritting your teeth and telling your friends no, and when these fucking, and your hard days at work, not having a drink and shit. I mean, like, putting yourself up against the fucking grinder and like, and fighting back against it. And you do that enough, man, and you learn a lot about yourself. And now it's to the point, long story short, that every time I don't eat meat, every time I work out to the point of exhaustion, every time I spend my Fridays working, I feel like I am transforming more into me. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I never had for myself. So I don't miss anything. As far as I'm concerned, like I was born about 7 months ago.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've been celebrating my freedom.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no fucking way I can go back, you know.
Yeah.
I have way too much, and you guys coming on here once a week, I mean, it proves it. Like I would have never caught up with you.
Yeah.
You know, I would have seen you once or twice at Corey's show, but there's a chance that I would have been too fucked up to talk to you.
Yeah.
I would have ripped your jewel. You know, I would have bugged you for your jewel, and that probably would have been it, man. We would have made plans I didn't see through, but now I get to have you here, and you have to listen to me talk, motherfucker. No, I ended up on a tangent. I'm gonna let you talk now.
No. I love learning the story, and honestly, like the reason why I did this was because like I wanted to actually like get to know the real you.
Yeah.
And you did talk a lot, and I'm glad you did, because now like I have such a like better understanding and like so much more appreciation for like what you're doing now, because like, you know, and the reason why I asked, you know, like how you started this is because like someone does something for a reason, right? Like if you're doing it aimlessly, like you're never gonna get anywhere with it. And so my point is like by you doing this, it's giving you that sense of purpose, that sense of meaning, right?
For sure.
Like it's turning your life around.
Yeah.
And like by you explaining that to me, it's turning my life around, and it's making me feel better. So like,
good.
dude, like your level of inspiration is just like is so damn high, dude, and I'm just so fucking pumped for you.
Oh, well, good, dude. But to speak physically on why this podcast exists, to fucking answer your original fucking question, brother, it's I had an art degree. I love talking to people. I was borderline in tears because I'd worked the same job for 5 years.
Yeah.
I was going nowhere. I was, you know, social media, you see everybody flying by you. You know, at least it seems. It seems motherfuckers are on Everest and shit, and you're fucking, you know, getting high again. And I just was like, man, what if there was something where like I could just like talk to people and like use my art and like be charitable and be funny and like be a personality, and like what if that was a job? And I went on fucking Indeed, and that's a very complicated search. You know, there's not.
I can't even imagine what you typed.
Yeah, I fucking tried some super fragilistic espialidocious type search shit, and nothing worked. And then I was like, what if that is it? So I fucking pulled out the proverbial magic bullet blender, and I threw all of those ideas in, and I fucking threw up a gosh darn podcast, and here it is,
dude. Which reminds me, shout out to Magic Bullet. I use mine regularly.
I use mine twice a day.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Magic Bullet drink? Thanks for listening to that, by the way. No, I really appreciate that, man.
Dude, and honestly, like beyond this like session, whatever, like I got you, bro. Like I work down the street. Like, let's kick it.
Yeah, let's kick it for sure, man. And that's
in Westchester now, by the way.
What's that?
I live in Westchester now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I knew you when you lived on the other side of the street or on the other side of town. Yeah, let's kick it for sure.
Yeah. Y'all are all welcome to kick it.
Yeah, let's all kick it
for sure.
Hit me up.
Olin kicked it.
Yeah, Olin kicked it. I used to kill it, but I'm catching cases now, so I gotta just kick it.
For sure.
Well, let's talk about your Magic Bullet fucking drink.
Magic Bullet.
We're eventually going to talk about being a fashionista. I'm sure your fucking Instagram fans are like, yo.
I'm trying to avoid that.
Talk to me about your gosh darn cardigan already.
On the real, I'm trying to avoid this. But Magic Bullet. So usually it's just like a mix of green shit. Like anything that's green, I fucking throw it in there with some ice, coconut water, or
oh my man,
juice. You know what I mean? And like it's my excuse to like get all the, you know, veggie intake that I need, because like I'm horrible with it.
This is me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're talking the same shit.
It's tight though. Like Magic Bullet has like changed my life.
Yeah, for sure.
This isn't sponsored, by the way. So like, but if Magic Bullet's watching, like,
this is a Magic Bullet. Just if you get the chance, check out these Magic Bullet mugs that we picked up. Yeah, we have to be careful about you because you sponsor shit, because you get free clothes and shit.
I'm really trying to avoid this conversation. But
you
know
really,
what? Fuck it. Let's dive deep into it.
Okay, so here's the thing. Is the reason I'm asking you is because I have one experience with an influencer, and he's my buddy. His name is Christian. He was an outdoor influencer.
Oh, sick.
And he ended up, he did the avalanche. He was in the avalanche. It's a story that's up on YouTube. But anyways, it started from him just being at home, trying to figure out what his life was about. Went on like a minor outdoorsman trip. Fuck. 2 years later, he's an influencer, getting flown around, starting his own business and they're doing a first ascent on this Canadian trail in winter. Ends up being in an avalanche.
Wow.
Downhill slope. Anybody listening, check out the avalanche story on the YouTube. Shout out fucking Christian Landley. I love you. But that was his story, and it was definitely a rise and fall of an Instagram influencer. But before I let you take the mic here, he was reluctant. It seemed like at the end of the day, it might have ruined what he loved about the outdoors for him. And I wonder if being an influencer and always having to post, well, let's start off with this. What does being an influencer do for you in your field?
Honestly,
which is fashion. I'm going to seriously let you take it away now, motherfucker.
It's literally just another creative outlet for me that just so happened to turn into something bigger, right? Like, honestly, like,
how'd you get started?
So, I was dating a girl, Sylvia, shout out. Like, we're still good friends. She was a photographer and talent manager, and she was like, hey, like, you like to write and you like to dress up. Like, you should start a blog. And this was like right before Instagram started. And I was like, all right. So I did that. And like, it was very rewarding because, even though the photos were like of my fashion, so to speak, like the content was rarely ever about that. It was actually like personal shit that I was dealing with. And so the photography fashion side of it was like the creative outlet. And the writing side was actually more of like a therapeutic thing. And I think those two go like hand in hand, right? So then I started this blog, and then I was just like, well, I guess I should do Instagram. Like, this is 2012 when like it's pretty fresh. And then I'm posting, and then like Urban Outfitters one day hits me up and they're like, hey, we want to work with you. And I was like, what? Like, why?
What do you mean work with me?
Like, they wanted to collab. Like, they wanted to, like, I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. So they're just like, we want to send you clothes in exchange for promotion on your social channel. And
how many followers did you have at that time?
Dude, I had like 700 followers.
That's banging, though.
At the time, that was kind of popping.
It's like, still popping. That's still popping.
So, like, I accept. And that, I feel, was like really the turning point in my so-called influencer life.
And what year was this?
2013 or 2014.
Damn, so you've been big time a long time.
Nah, dude. No, it's not even like that, honestly. Like,
you ever get in front of their camera?
In front of Urbans?
Yeah.
Nah, so like a lot of the stuff that I do is like shot by like a photographer that like I hire personally. Like, I still do modeling gigs here and there, which I don't know why anyone would want to hire someone that looks like me, given like
you're a handsome dude.
But I'm not like 6 foot.
Yeah,
I'm not ripped. I'm not like lean.
But you don't need to be. Because you look tall enough in your photos and shit, right?
Yeah, it's the shout out to my photographers for like killing it.
Yeah, I mean, I see it. Yeah. I was looking at this one picture where like you're charging a staircase, and it's fucking. You're doing the thing.
Yeah.
Do you not think that you're model worthy?
No.
Does it trip you out still?
It does. Because like we're so like conditioned to think that models look a certain way, and like up until recently, like campaigns have changed. Like, you're seeing people that are like plus size, you're seeing people of different colors,
for sure,
of whatever the case may be,
for
right?
Sure.
But I still feel like, and maybe this is because I'm like my worst critic, but like I always have like this feeling that it's like never good enough. You know what I mean?
Oh, bummer, dude.
And so, for better or worse, like I think that's the reason why I'm able to continue doing what I do and posting every day, is because I'm not doing it to be sought after as like the hot guy or the guy that has cool style. Like, it's literally just a creative outlet.
Yeah.
And
I hear it.
I've been able to make money off of it, which is tight.
That's so tight.
But again, like if Instagram shuts down tomorrow, like I'll still have my blog and I can still write on that and talk whatever I want.
For sure.
I still have like these personal relationships with people that I can talk to them there. So at the end of the day, like if again Instagram shuts down, which I hope it doesn't, but if it shuts down, like I'll be chill. Like I'll have other avenues. I'll have music. I can still do photography. I could still do all this other shit that.
So it's just about being creative for you, and 100%. You ended up just making it work.
100%. And like you can even look at my Instagram now. Like a problem that I have is that I don't have like one particular style, right? Like I have a lot of friends that are like doing the same thing, where like they wear predominantly suits. I have other friends that do predominantly streetwear. I have friends that do just this or that. Like when they travel, they do food or whatever. But like that's just, I mean, more power to them. That's hella boring to me. Like if I were to wear a suit of different textures and fabrics every day, or if I were just to show you like the sneakers that I've been collecting every day, like where's the creativity in that?
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's a routine, and I don't want to do that because a lot of my life already is so routine.
Gotcha, dude. Well, you definitely have to be obsessed with whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Like for sure. If you want, I think in life, I think everybody out there, if you don't like doing something, don't fucking do it. I think that, you know, and it's so weird like that's like something that you need to hear, but it's very important. Like it just, especially as we get older and people are trying to make ends meet and shit.
Yeah.
There's ways about going about making ends meet, man. And like making ends meet, well, depending on your responsibilities, but making ends meet is almost like a state of mind. You know what I'm saying? Keep the bills paid, keep food in the fridge. Yeah. But like no one needs to ball out, you know? Yeah. And I think that why this is so successful for you is because you love doing this, you know, and you're not pinned in this spot. Do you have ever felt like, man, like I just, you know, people only know me as FK, bro. And like there's so much more to me. Like, do you ever like just want to fucking delete the app and go on a fucking spirit
the fucking time, dude.
Oh, really?
Honestly, like I think I posted about it like maybe a few weeks ago. I was just like, dude, I wanted, like, I always every day, like I think about deleting this because like the interactions are so routine. Like they're like I'm losing so much real connection with people that like what I show on Instagram is literally just like, again, my creative outlet, but has nothing to do with me as a person or like me interacting with other people as people. Right. So like even at like influencer events, like no offense, but like, yo, everything is so fucking superficial, so surface level. Like this is how a conversation is going to go. Like, oh dude, what's up? I haven't seen you in like, you know, I don't know, a month or like since the last event, whatever. Right. And like, what have you been up to? Oh, like I've just been working. It's been busy. Cool. What about you? Oh, like, yeah, just, you know, doing my thing. Cool. Like, let's grab a drink.
Oh.
Or like, oh, cool. Like, let's go check out the performance. You know what I mean? Like, that's where it ends. And all the friends that I have made that are in the space, like, we're all homies because like we have like such a deeper connection that transcends Instagram, that transcends social media, that transcends like what we do, like for us to be in that place together. Right. And
Understood.
So, I think that's something that we need to keep in mind. And it's
so
easy to get lost in this shit. Like, and that's why I think like Gen Zers have it so tough, is because they're consumed by living vicariously through everyone else, that they don't have their own voice or identity. And so they find something or someone that they connect with and they're like immediately like, oh, that's my spirit animal. Or like, you know what I mean? Or like, that's me, you know, but it's not. Like, you are you. And again, I guess this is like a theme in this conversation, is like, no one else can be you, and like you are inspirational in some way or some form to someone else.
For sure.
Keep doing that.
But that shit's only gonna last for so long if you're not 100. If you see, the thing about when I do this podcast, me as an example is gonna be able to communicate what I'm trying to say better than me just saying it in one sentence. But if I wasn't to be me every time this podcast goes live, I got like 3 episodes in me, and then I'm fucking exhausted because I got to put on some fucking fake face.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And it's because I'm like, well, I'm going to be real about me doing coke. I'm going to be real about the shit that I went through. You know, I'm going to be real about me making trash money. Like it's only because I'm doing that is I'm just providing like the ability for me to be resistant to any like character building that might happen from being in front of a camera.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you say to kids who are maybe, you know, discouraged? And I've definitely felt this, but it's not so important to me. What do you say? And I think I know the answer, but I'm curious to know what you have to say about this. What do you say to the kids who are really trying to not do the status quo? Like, let's take a female blogger for sure, who's into fashion. What do you say to the generation? Well, what's your comment on the generation that feels like they need to like these chicks that like if it's on an ass picture, it's not going to go anywhere. You know, these dudes, like if they're not like funny, you know, like these people who are defined maybe feel like they're defined by only their 12 likes, you know, or 15 likes, and living in a world where our value, shout out Ryan Rojas, said this really brilliant thing where we're in a time where almost we're quantified in numbers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, and I'm guilty of it. You know, there was a part of me that was nervous about having you on because you got 21,000 followers. Dude, and then when you said you were going live, I was like, well, fuck, this isn't going live. Thanks. And to bounce it back to me, like, thank God I'm just me every podcast because I don't have a choice but to be anything exactly. that I've been. But what do you say? What's your comment on this generation that is chasing likes? You know, it seems like you really don't give a fuck about people liking your shit. You just need to be creative. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, don't get me wrong. Like, because I work in this space 9 to 5, like I see everything about it, like the quality and the quantity, right? Like, you know, some people who have amazing content, and the numbers show that. And there's other people who have amazing content and they just don't get that engagement. And then there's on the other side of that, like people who have horrible content. I'm not gonna name names, and they like their shit gets blown up. And maybe they're buying that shit, maybe they're not. Maybe like what they do or what they say is really making an impact, and that's fine. Like I don't really care anymore. Like I feel like when I first started, it was really, really bothering me, and it just created a lot of like negativity. And then I reminded myself, like, I'm not doing this for the likes. I'm not doing it for the comments. I don't fucking care if Instagram dies tomorrow. Like I am using it for the exact purpose that I started using it with and doing with it, right? So
you had to come full circle with yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
You like went through kind of this rise and fall, just like my buddy Christian, which seems to be the natural path of an influencer because we're all human beings. And at the end of the day, I like to believe that not all, and I'm sure you know a lot of superficial influencers to say the least, but most of us who are human and down to earth, your phone shut off. I don't know if you care. I don't know if that's going to dock your likes, but, it seems that there's this natural progression of you get started, you're seeing that your shit is catching on. You maybe are getting excited that this is catching on. And then they fucking the T word, but I have heard that there's a dopamine, like they've done tests where dopamine is released every time you see a like it does something to the brain where it's addictive. It's the same reason why you maybe felt like you were chasing likes, right? You know, and it was bringing you negativity when you didn't get it. Maybe a withdrawal, motherfucker. You know, like it seems like everybody goes through that path, the dopamine path, then almost understanding what that means, and then like not giving a fuck. Yeah. And it seems like there's this rotation, but with what do you have to say about it? Is Instagram going to be hiding the likes? Did you read something about that?
Yeah, they tested it in Canada supposedly, and you know
that's your water, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I actually appreciate that. Yeah. And you know, some say like it'll be great because people's egos would feel better, whatever. But at the end of the day, like for content creators, influencers, whatever the fuck you want to call them, like
shit's important.
A lot of what happens like after the fact that you post like depends on that, right? So like, we're still gonna have to do the work. Like we're gonna have to send the screenshots to the brands, like, oh, this is like the numbers, from the post that I do with you. So like
you have to do that.
If it was hidden, you would definitely have to do that.
What's a fucking normal day like for an influencer, dude? You say it's your job and you like work at an office.
So,
and our selfies.
Let me clarify.
And one question before we get started: are selfies out? Are they out of season?
No, I don't think so. Like
selfies
as long
still
as they're
cracking.
Done within like tastefully, and that's like your whole profile isn't selfies. Like chill, whatever.
What do you think about people taking selfies with like their fucking grandpa, where the grandpa's looking at the camera, like, what the fuck is that?
Dude, know what honestly, like it's tight. Like
you fuck with it.
Social media is whatever you want it to be.
And for sure.
Some people are gonna hate on it inevitably. Yeah. Some people are gonna love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter if you are doing it because it brings you legitimate happiness. That's all that matters.
Then you're not wrong.
And a lot of people who become influencers are maybe some of the people that become influencers are driven by that. You know what I mean? Like they've been able to make a business because they've been able to be 100% themselves.
For sure.
And that's what's going to weed out people who are going to be successful at this, or people who are like literally just doing it for the wrong reasons.
And you find that the method to the madness is you just got to be yourself with this shit.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who think like, why do they work with this dude? Like, why him? Like, I get mistaken for a lot of people because I look like you're just like a regular dude. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, I think brands really fuck with me is because like they see that
you get mistaken for a normal dude.
Yeah.
Dude, you have like 16 nose piercings. You're fucking FK. What are you talking about? You're an
like,
icon.
Honestly, like if a
You're
brand,
like the Filipino Dennis Rodman.
For real, like if a brand puts out an ad that I'm in, like a paid advertisement, they'd be like, "Oh, he looks like such and such." Like the last one I got, it was an ad for the Beverly Center, the mall. Sick. And it was for Egg Slut, the restaurant, right? And like I saw like at least like a handful of comments are like, "That guy looks like Kuzma, like Kyle Kuzma from the Lakers."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Shout
okay,
out.
like I could see that. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
like, I guess what I'm saying is like I'm not like unique enough looking outside of my tattoos and piercings, which like unfortunately kind of define my look.
How's that make you feel?
I mean, in a way that's good, right? Because
you got them.
It's art and it's me, and they represent like what I believe in, what I've gone through. But at the same time,
and you had them before all of this.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's just like for work purposes, like it kind of sucks. Like there was a period of like when I was doing this where like watch brands would hit me up all the fucking time because they literally just wanted their watch on a tattooed arm, right? And like at first it was cool because I was like still kind of fresh to the game, and I was like, oh, tight! Like all these brands want to work with me, so like
you're like, I always knew my fucking
I did a lot
hand was sick looking, dude.
But then like 1,000 watches later, you know what I mean?
1,000?
No, not 1,000, but like it felt like that where it's just like, dude, no one actually values what I have to say or like the rest of my style.
Yeah.
Like, they're just using me for my arms
and that must be frustrating for you.
It was. And then that's when it would be at the point where I'm just like, it's not about creativity anymore. Like I'm literally just like a piece of
just an arm, bro.
Yeah, I'm
just
literally
I was
reduced to my arm.
You're just a fucking tattooed arm, brother.
Yeah. So I was just like, you know what?
Oh my goodness.
Fuck it. Like I'm not about that life anymore.
So I had asked you, but I'm so curious to know. So like, do you work on Monday? You got work on Monday?
This coming Monday?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I work in 9 to 5. I work at an influencer marketing agency. Shout out, obviously. I said a lot of things here that are like not work or business appropriate.
Well, don't say your fucking work's name, and let's not share this.
But I love my job and I love the company, and I believe in like the company's like culture, like what they're trying to do, and
for sure,
I think they treat people right.
Yeah, everybody does, but I don't think that what you said, just from hearing, I don't think what you said is a mystery. It sounded like you expressed your frustration, which is obvious. You don't have to be a sociologist to understand what's happening with influencers and what it takes and the constant grind. Bro, you posted 56 minutes before you came here. Like it was just, and it had nothing to do with the day. I mean, you're always posting. That's got to be exhausting, you know?
To an extent.
Are those, or do you have it like, you got that bitch in the trunk, like ready to rock and roll? You're like, oh, honestly, here we go, like, Thursday. I got 12 posts on queue. Do you have a?
Yeah. I lay out my posts like weeks in advance so that I don't have to worry about it like
weeks
in advance. Like I have my calendar set until probably like early July.
Oh, West Side. I'm booked up here till halfway through August. So just so you know, motherfucker.
No, but like it makes things a lot more efficient.
Same shit. I fucking know who's coming on until like August 20th. Exactly.
I mean, that's just like with anything that people do.
That's because you love it. That's because you love it. And you know what? That is enough right there where you should be doing it.
Yeah.
You know? That's fucking tight.
Yeah. Thank you.
Isn't it weird to think that people go their whole lives not knowing what the fuck it is?
Yeah. But you know what? Everyone's on a different timeline, and I'm not going to sit here and judge them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
But at the same time, like, I hope in that journey that people are trying to figure out that exact timeline, that they're really, like, taking their experiences in and just, like, being grateful.
For sure.
Right? And I actually, like, only recently backed that idea after watching a Marie Kondo episode.
For sure.
Yo, dude, like after I watched that
love
one
episode,
I Marie Kondoed my fucking life.
Yeah.
Bro. Like,
no, that shit is real. It's the easiest lessons are the hardest to see. Like that's what's so crazy is the
shout out Marie Kondo, by the way.
Yo, Marie Kondo, hit me up, come through to the podcast. I was just telling somebody, I think it was a tweet I had, like, yo, having Marie Kondo as a homie would be fucking tight.
Yeah,
you just hit her up and yo, how was your day? She's just positive about everything and shit. I love it. I wanted, there's something I want to comment on is that you've been doing this since how long?
Like 2012, 2013. Something
okay,
like that.
And it is so. If there's anything consistent with people who are successful, it's consistency.
Facts.
And this is real shit, man. And it's anybody who is good at anything has been doing it a while.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not as sexy as my consistency line that I just fucking dropped. But it's the truth. It's the truth. I think a lot of people, and it goes against this popcorn culture right now where everything is like, oh, boom, shot of my ass, boom, 47 likes in fucking, 5 minutes, whatever it is.
Yeah.
This goes against that. Like you have to dig and you got to eat those fucking 15 likes.
Yep.
20
100%.
likes,
100%.
25 likes.
I'm actually like going through a really shitty period of like time with my Instagram engagement. Like, bro, like I could barely hit 300 on a day. Like on it, like for the last like maybe month, like it's been struggling. You know what I mean?
Really?
And then
what does that mean?
Like,
do you have like a team like fucking working out?
No,
trying to figure it out?
I'm just saying, like, I see like the ebbs and flows of my own social media, and knowing where my engagement rate is supposed to be, like how many likes and comments I'm supposed to be getting, whatever.
I've never checked that out. Should I check that out?
I'll teach you for sure.
I just don't know. I just like that my shit is up on my Instagram because it's just a resume. Like I want somebody to be like, oh, this fool only killed it.
Exactly. And so just, I have to remind myself of that, right?
Yeah.
Because like as soon as I
fuck the feed, even though FTF crew,
even though like it's what I do for my 9 to 5, like measuring performance,
which he loves his job.
Yeah, I do. I do love my job.
I love his job.
Me personally, like if I get caught up in that shit, like I will immediately start to be unhappy with what I'm doing, and it's not what I do it for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Isn't that fucking trippy, man?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that I ever let myself emotionally get there. Like as soon, because I've had a fucking year of letting go, man. Letting go of a lot of shit that I thought was toxic. I'm not dipping my toes in that fucking pool, man. Like, I post shit, and you know what? The only thing I feel is bad. Like I feel bad when I post a video at 10:30 at night because your video is going up. I'm sorry to break this to you, Sunshine, but your video will probably go up at 9:51 tonight, which is not very smart. But I'm like, I remember that just because I don't give a fuck. Like I want to post it at a better time so that it reflects my, it's like, dude, but Kenneth, like Francis was awesome, bro. Like he deserves 1 million likes. You know what I'm saying? But it's like because I posted at fucking 3:00 in the morning on a fucking Tuesday, it's not getting the insight that I think it deserves. So maybe I should wait. But at the same time, I think I'd rather have my Instagram as like a resume type feel.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. Like, I mean, as a podcast, like it makes sense that like Instagram is your like main stream. Like, if anything, like you should be using Instagram to just amplify, which I think you do.
I think I do, but I just see. I think somebody needs to be like, yo, man, you need to give a fuck about this more. And it's like, I give a fuck about the podcast. And I'm like, no, not about the podcast, about you reaching people. And I'm like, but I don't want to like, dude, I want this to just be like fucking the birth. Like when moms doesn't take any medications during birth. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get wrapped up in all this, this fucking, you got to fucking put ads out there and blah, blah, blah. I just kind of want to see this. I want to speak this. I want this to just be fucking elbow grease. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And just see what happens from it.
You want it to be organic.
Yes.
And grow authentically.
Way better word, dude. I just.
That's a word that we throw around a lot in the community.
So. In the community? Yeah. In the industry?
Yeah, in the industry. So like.
What's up, dude? Organic Olin, brother, from MySpace.
I'm at Whole Foods.
We started it though. We're the generation though. Did you have a MySpace?
I did.
Were you seen back then?
I was.
Yeah, dude, I was seen too. I had a bleached hair underneath and everything. I think everybody who was like a musician, if you were into heavy music and you weren't like somewhat seen, like you weren't into heavy music.
Dude, honestly, like while we're on this topic, like, and I think about this a lot, is like the difference between being like seen and like a emo kid or whatever you want to call it.
I just switched the camera back like this because I need to I know exactly what you're going to say. And we didn't do any raw shit back then, okay? What I'm saying, okay, we might have straightened our hair every once in a while, but we brought the fucking mosh, son. Yeah. Okay, catch me at Chain Reaction with a bum cigarette spin kicking somebody.
I still listen to this shit regularly.
Me too.
Like, I was literally listening to hardcore on the way here.
Good.
And that's the difference, is like people that were like emo or whatever, like it was like it was a phase, like, oh, it's cool, and like I'm going through teenage angst, and so like I relate to this, but like for us, like it was a way of life.
Yeah,
like,
for sure, and still is, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm still pumped.
I'm going to Have Heart's last show in Massachusetts in like a week, dude.
Bro, like I
charge.
Yeah, I feel you. Like I still get hype when like bands from like our time like are still together and playing shows. Like like
that's why I'm so.
I have an As Cities Burn tattoo.
That's fucking
on
hard,
my arm,
dude.
And like
that's heavy.
They just came out with the new album. Shout out As Cities Burn.
I think that was Trust Kill Records back then. Had As Cities Burn.
As Cities Burn was Solid State.
Solid State with Norma Jean, dude. Yeah, so, for sure.
Like, I don't know. Like I don't know why people feel like, oh, like you still listen to that, like super judgmental. I'm like, yeah, like why would I not?
I feel more inclined to listen to that shit now because I've never old me would have been like, yeah, well, I'm just like stuck in the phase. Fucking, I say new me, but the new me who's letting the old me prevail. Yeah. For lack of better fucking words. Yeah. I don't give a fuck, man. I crank that shit now. Yeah. I've gone once, and you seem like a kind of guy who loves yourself. Once you fucking love yourself, man. I mean, nobody is telling you shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? No one's telling you shit, brother. It's like, I don't know. I still fuck with music that's out there right now, but like, I just saw Acacia Strain the other week.
Dude, one of my favorite.
I just saw them. And people are moshing, and I'm in mosh retirement, but people aren't,
me too.
And I fuck with it. Like, I have.
Where do they play, by the way?
It was Glass House with Knocked Loose.
Oh my god!
It was Harm's Way. It was like I saw like really big dudes like getting really hurt. It was really violent and really fun.
I mean, in standard fashion, like I feel like if you go to a Acacia Strain show, that's inevitable.
It's heavy as fuck, dude. The fucking lead singer who's doing CrossFit now and he looks all aggressive. He's telling push them back, push everybody back, and fucking the pit is just like going to war with everybody who's just showing up. But you know what? Like it sucks in that it's a violent environment, but it fucking rules because there's absolutely nothing like it. Dude.
Yeah, 100%.
There's absolutely nothing like it. Seeing the fucking a band fucking running back and forth on stage, and there's basically a fight happening in the middle of the room, and you don't have to be in it, but you can't sit there and just acknowledge, because you don't understand this as somebody who, you know, went to a couple fucking whatever shows, you know, you went to like the big Kiss FM Day to Remember gig or whatever, you know, that we're not that, you know what I'm saying? Like something for whatever reason inside of us, like we found shelter in like the fucking violent music, man. I don't know what it did for me. I think everybody's got their own shit from childhood, you know, but it spoke volumes to me. Like I could hear songs, and for this very reason, I didn't like seeing music videos, because music videos would fuck up my vision of what I had for the song. I'd see a music video and be like, you motherfuckers blew it, dude. Like, this song is about this. You guys fucked up. Yeah. Like, I was really in love, and still am in love with the music. And I think everybody's been through some shit, but I think when you grow up and you're kind of, I think if you can find a parallel with the violent music, you know, I think that's something. My example was, if you go to the Kiss FM concert, I don't expect you to get it. You know what I'm saying? But there's kids out there in fucking Pomona, and this wasn't my situation, but there are kids out there who grew up with a fucking abusive dad, you know, with a mom who fucking wasn't there, and had a hard time relating to people, you know. But there was this thing that happens every Friday at the Glass House, and people are fucking sober because they come from a background where they acknowledge fucking drugs and alcohol as problematic, whatever it happened in their life. And for fucking 5 hours a week, you got to take out all that fucking bullshit, whether it be somebody pushing you into fucking lockers, your dad fucking beating you down. And I grew up, I mean, I love my family. Everybody has gone through their own emotional battles, but I loved that about hardcore, and you can, and I think that's the energy, you know, it's more than just people screaming fucking lyrics. It's this kid from broken home, and this kid who hasn't had anything to eat, and this kid who used to be addicted to drugs because his older brother committed suicide, or this, and these songs, they're not afraid to talk about the issues that don't sell. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, like, I'm like a little bit taken aback, because like that's exactly why I related to like a lot of the shit that, you know, like this As Cities Burn album or like whatever, is because they were saying shit that no one else was, or like they're too scared to.
Yeah.
And I think that's what hardcore really did for people like us.
For sure.
You know, like, and I'm grateful. Like, and I think that's why I still listen to it. It's because like, it's like, in a way for me, it's like saying thank you for getting me through very tough times.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And I know a lot of genres do that for other people. Like, it doesn't have to be hardcore. It could be R&B. It could be country, whatever.
Yeah, but I don't see, I fuck with you, but I'm such and not you, Francis, because you're on the same team as me. But I fuck with the idea that Jack Johnson got you guys through some rough fucking times, but it's like,
they weren't the same rough times that I had.
Being at Chain and fucking like Lifelong Tragedy, and everybody's piling on top of the stage, and it's, I mean, there's just, I mean, not to say music does everything for everybody, but it's just, there's a sense of urgency that hardcore carries because of that's my coffee machine. Sorry about the beep, everybody. But I think that sense of urgency and aggressiveness and passion and intensity is calls for people who are brought up under those circumstances. And there's a pressure in my family that I don't need to talk about on here, but I think everybody's got one. There's a pressure that the first time I heard fucking, for me, it was I think I have an older brother, so it was like the Blink-182 mixtape, and I was like, oh shit, I like fucking drums, I guess. But then once in 5th grade, I heard AFI for the first time. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then that, they're like hardcore band. They used to. I used to have an AFI shirt when I was in middle school that said AFI, EBHC, which is East Bay Hardcore. That's how old school this shirt is. That you search hardcore, what the fuck's hardcore mean? And then you're finding bands out that time, like bands from the 90s, the Refused. I mean, and then you're like, oh, what's this Records? Because Records were on all the shirts and shit. And then it's like, I don't know, it's this drug. You can't go back because now you've seen, now you've seen some fucking crazy band, and then you go to, whatever show, and you're like, oh, like this is different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like when I heard dubstep has mosh pits, I was like, that you motherfuckers don't know what you're doing, dude.
But also like, I mean, I get it because like the feeling as far as like the rhythm is like similar, but like it literally doesn't warrant you to want to release that kind of energy because like lyrically there's no content there. There's no substance.
There's no substance. There's no substance. And
I mean, not that I don't.
We're so up on our high horse right now talking about hardcore. Yeah, we're so elitist. But you know what? If dubstep is doing for the youngsters the same thing it's doing that like
for us.
Like for example, people are like, dude, you're fucking sober now. How'd you do it? And if it wasn't for straight edge hardcore being pumped into my brain anytime the times were tough and I fucking listened to I don't know, Champion got into some dirt socially. The fucking turns out the lead singer is a fucking piece of shit. But yeah, super bummer because the album, the records, Promises Kept, are maybe some of the best sober records ever. And that shit is like, an AA meeting, a lot of these straight edge records, and you can't get that shit anywhere else. And because of that, you just, I don't know. I'm seeing Have Heart this summer twice, and it's kind of crazy that the 10 years they're coming back after 10 years is the decade, at the end of the decade where I decided I wanted to be sober. It's like full circle. Yeah. And they're like my favorite band. So it's going to be epic to see them and be like, I fucking deserve to be here. You guys are straight edge. I'm fucking sober. I give a fuck. You guys have always given a fuck. I'm sorry I haven't given a fuck till now. Like, I'm going to lose my mind. Yeah. And it's... Hardcore is weird, dude. Hardcore is weird. You have a hard time, like, explaining what it means because it's like, it's just... You listen to, like, that rah shit, huh? It's like, that's what people say. It's like...
Yeah. Like, you listen to that devil music, like... It's funny you say that because my one of my best friends... I guess just, like, with anyone that I've, like, a... like close friendship with, like that doesn't listen to hardcore, like I'll try to like bait them into it, like oh, do you like this generic rock song that's on the radio? And then, like I'll try to take it a step further, further,
try and push it.
It's
like hard drugs. You don't want
like a gateway, like K-Rock is a gateway drug.
Let him hit the fucking joint first, don't show him the needle. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Give him some Limp Bizkit.
Hit him with like a little Limp Bizkit, and then maybe like a little Atreyu in there to sprinkle little singing choruses. That's funny, dude.
But he'd be like, oh, you listen to that devil shit again? Like
devil shit is so
funny. I'd be listening to like, I don't know, like Under Oath, right?
Yeah.
He's like, what are they talking about? Killing babies and worshiping Satan? I'm like, dude, this is like they're only chasing safety Under Oath. Yeah. It's like, first of all, Under Oath is at the time was like a Christian band.
Dude, they're a Christian band.
Are they still a Christian band?
I don't know, but there was a second there where the Christian bands were bringing that shit, dude.
All the Solid Satan Tooth and Nail bands.
Yeah, I remember August Burns Red. What was the first record? It was Seeker?
Thrill Seeker.
That record was...
it rips. It
still does. Super rippy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They're still a band.
Yeah, they're playing. Like, and they're old school. The fucking lead singer went bald. He shaved his head. Like, they've just been around. They've been making records for ever, though.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. But, it's just funny how, like, people have this, like, stereotype that anything that's, like, yelling or screaming is immediately, like, about something violent. When a lot of the cases, like, bands like Have Heart, they're talking about, like, straight edge or, like, positivity, whatever.
Yeah.
people have like so much more depth than that, and just because they're like saying it or like singing it or like playing it in a way that's like maybe a little loud, like that doesn't erase the
I gauge that as
message.
passion, like how much passion they're saying it with. Like,
Yeah.
yo, dude, like these lyrics are so fucking powerful that he can't just say it. He needs to literally
Facts.
yell this into
Facts.
your fucking face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people
Yeah.
recognize that. And by the way, that's a tool, man. Not everybody can fucking sing, but everybody can yell. So these shows, I mean, imagine. Like if you reach 200 people and you ask 200 people to
Everyone's
sing,
yelling.
maybe 20 people know how to sing, but if you tell 20 people how to yell, everybody knows how to fucking yell at the fucking top of their lungs. And we all have felt something in our lives that made us want to scream at the top of our lungs, dude.
For sure.
You know?
For sure.
It's fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Shout out hardcore.
Shout out fucking hardcore. So what's next on the fucking what's next in the culture of social media, man? Is like YouTube came after Instagram, right? So it's like
No, it came before.
It came before.
Yeah, but like,
do you have any plan of like making like digital like video content type deal?
yeah, actually, like I have like a concept in mind.
You don't have to break bread right here on.
Yeah, no. I do have a concept in mind. It's gonna be with like a millennial viewpoint. It'll include like a lot of travel, food, and I feel like I'm just giving it away now. But
yo,
like,
everybody plug their fucking ears.
Yeah. But it'll be through like our ideals and mindset, but there'll be a twist to it that I feel like is going to be very relatable for like the younger generation, but also like for us. But then like a part of it will still, in my opinion, like we'll still speak to like our parents, because it'll involve like all like the rich cultures that, you know, they built.
For sure.
So like, I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to be up there with like the Anthony Bourdains of the world.
For sure.
Like,
shout out, rest in peace.
For sure.
Anthony
Like
Bourdain.
that's definitely the goal. Like, is
Isn't it so funny how much the world loved Anthony Bourdain?
Yeah. And dude, that dude went through some shit.
Yeah, he did. He was
like, and people still loved him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
People still love him to this day.
Yeah, I still love him.
Yeah, I don't even know how much like people even like it's not trendy is not the word I'm looking for, but it's almost just seems like it's the right thing to do to just love that dude.
Yeah.
You know?
How could you not?
Yeah.
Like he like showed us things in ways that no one else could. And I mean, that as cliche as it sounds, like that's why a lot of people have the platform that they do, but like I think he was in particular like a special person because he could speak to literally everyone.
For sure.
It didn't matter if like you were a hipster. It didn't matter if like you're like a virtuoso. It didn't matter if you're a 9-to-5 grinder. You know what I mean? Like he said things in ways that like everyone like felt at their core.
Yeah.
And his passing like was the exact same thing. Like
right.
Everyone felt that at their core, and like he was going through shit like we all are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I recognize that about Anthony Bourdain is there's a couple things. Everybody enjoys the hero's journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was a hero to us because anytime anybody bounces back, I think it's a natural thing for us to accept that perseverance.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Human beings have the ability to recognize that. And that's why videos do so well when it's somebody without legs, you know, competes in a basketball game or something. Is I think we're naturally drawn to that. And he really struggled with not only depression, but he was a heroin addict.
Yeah.
And did his own thing, made his own show, put himself into situations, and really spread his creativeness and positivity all over the world.
Yeah.
You know, and he was kind of to me, he was a symbol of, you know, just doing your own thing. Because if I told you about the show, you might not watch it, but I think that he had an energy about him that was so attractive where, you know, one episode wasn't enough.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it was no reservations. All of a sudden, you're fucking seasons deep, and you're like, holy shit, I love this guy. You know,
he was just raw, man.
Yeah, he was raw, and we love that too. You know,
and I think that's like, again, going back to hardcore, like that's what I feel like we love about hardcore. Is that it's so raw.
Yeah, because there's no fucking producers being like, "Hey, man, we need you to cut it down."
Mm.
And this is actually a good transition because what does this mean for the Nerf society? I mean, is he gonna be? Is he one of the last ones to really go out swinging with that mentality in mind? I mean, he was raw, but not a lot of people are gonna be able to get away with that these days.
Right.
YouTube is now pulling videos where if your comment says something offensive,
Mhm.
the video will
Mhm.
get pulled.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's tough because I feel like we're breeding like this. There's good and bad. The good is like we're obviously being more accepting and um, thoughtful of people and like their differences.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it's like we're breeding like this overly sensitive culture where like we can't say anything.
for sure.
Like, in like I feel like the only people that can do that are comedians, and even comedians are under like are getting like a lot of heat for the shit that they're saying.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think that there's censorship is never
Never good.
It's never
Ever.
a good move. I
Ever.
think, as a matter of fact, well, especially you being a veteran, pulling away the right to free speech is almost a slap in the face to
Yeah.
all the progression that
Yeah.
any civilization has done in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Taking away the right to free speech is just fucking absolutely not. But what we can do, party people, is we can put an emphasis on teaching, moral standards,
Yeah.
and using such content as an example instead of blackballing this. I don't know. I think that these ideas, even if they are negative, I think that they should be accessible as any ideas, unfortunately. But I think that we need to do a better job of explaining what's different from right to wrong.
Yeah. 100%.
And I think that's going to be the move.
Yeah, and that's like the biggest difference, right? Is like, we can have differing opinions. Like I have friends in the military or people that I haven't that I met outside of the military who have completely different political views from me.
For sure.
And like sometimes they post shit that I'm just like cringing, right? But at the end of the day, like that isn't a judgment of who they are, like in my relationship with them and the reason why we connected. Like I could still be friends with them. That's fine. And we can disagree. But I feel like the mentality I have and the mentality that we have, like in our generation, is fading. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's again goes back to what we said earlier. Is like, does everyone get a participation trophy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you have a manager like watching?
I don't.
Your
I've
so
considered
you could come out with some political shit tomorrow and no one be like, yeah, it's Will Francis.
I could say whatever the fuck I want. I could do whatever the fuck I want.
And is that strategic? Did you do that purposely because you knew down the road you just would never want somebody telling you what you can and can't say?
I don't think having a manager, even if I had one, like is gonna make a difference in what I can and can't say. And it wasn't like a conscious thing that I was just like, oh, like I have to be careful what I say on Instagram, or I have to be careful what I do on Instagram. Like I'm actually notorious for being like the influencer, so to speak, that says and does whatever he wants without regard.
Yeah, you have multiple nose piercings.
Dude, like for better or worse, like I put people on blasts on Instagram stories all the time that like
really
for saying and doing like really dumb shit. Like like some of the DMs I get like of people that are just like hunting for like likes, like please follow me back. Or like
that's weird.
Like
follow for follow.
Yeah, like
you get that shit a lot.
Yeah, and it's just like, and so like I'll put them on blast, right, on my stories, and like there's backlash from that.
Is that fucked up to do?
Maybe, but maybe it isn't. Like I don't know, but I don't fucking care. And the reason why I did it was because like inherently what that person is doing is like not good for anyone. Like it's not good for him because it's a really bad marketing tactic.
Yeah,
and it's bad for me because like it's wasting my time. You know what I mean? And time is like whatever, like the hottest commodity.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like the reason why I'm doing that is because like there are people that are achieving their level of success through that method, and that's just not right. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, like,
well, isn't that short lived? Like follow for follow shit? Because
maybe not. I don't know. But like those people are taking away from other people that actually can do the job right. And that's really important in the world of fashion, so to speak, because you can have a guy that has like 100 million followers, whatever, but has no sense of style, and style is subjective. Yes, I get that 100%. But if he's not moving the needle the way that, think about like the craziest people that like dress like Prince, for example, like that dude wore whatever the fuck he wanted
For sure.
and owned it, and he was a G. You know what I mean?
What do you think about this Kanye Mad Max style, dude?
I'm for it.
You fuck with it?
Yeah, like Kanye, like for as much as I disagree with him on a lot of things, like he's another example of a guy who just does whatever the fuck he wants. He went to the Met Gala in a Dickies jacket and Dickies cargo pants and just like military style black boots. And Met Gala is like literally a place where people go full the fuck out.
Yeah, didn't like Katy Perry need to walk around with like an assistant?
Probably,
like,
yeah. And Lady Gaga like had like 7,000 different out changes within like the short walk on that red carpet. So
wait,
like,
what do you mean outfit changes?
Yeah, like she took off a layer and it was like a different outfit. It was kind of tight actually. Like shout out Lady Gaga for doing that.
Lady Gaga is top of the line. She pushes the needle
for sure,
right?
For sure. Like I actually, after I watched that movie A Star Is Born, like I had so much more respect for her. Like,
yeah. Well, she's one of the ones to do it. Like, she's artsy, and I like from what I can tell outside looking at
Juilliard, right?
It was she can fucking sing, son.
Yeah, she's just talented in general.
She's really talented.
But I guess what I was trying to say is that, like, people who, you know, are at this level of like Insta fame per se, like they're not moving the needle for their respective communities, whether it's fashion, whether it's food. Foodies, prime example. These food Instagram accounts, like I have hella
You're
friends.
Not feeling it?
I have hella friends that are in that community, but I swear to God, if I see another fucking Instagram account that has like 50,000 followers that looks exactly like the other Instagram account with 50,000 followers of literally just like
we got drama
of like them holding the food, and literally there's like 20 influencers at this event taking that same photo, like I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Like,
oh, dude, you got to tell me what these influencer events are like. Short of the conversation, like, are there phone chargers everywhere? Like,
no.
Like, what's it like?
Like,
dude?
don't get me wrong. Like, there's good and bad. Like with everything there is, right?
Yo, full disclaimer: this fool likes being an influencer, so nobody get the shit fucking twisted. Okay, with that being said,
no, but like, there's good and bad things about it. Like, the good thing is like you're experiencing like a bunch of creatives get together and like do their thing. But the bad thing is that it gets cookie cutter, right? And so like it's that routine that in a creative space that I fucking hate. Like, do something different. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I'm not saying like you need to be like me where like you don't know what the fuck you're gonna wear like in every post. Like there's no rhyme or reason to it.
Shit up looks professional, bro.
I mean, shout out to my photographers. That's all them. And I just so happen to put on an outfit that kind of looks passable, right? But
passable.
The point I'm trying to make is that like,
you think this shit is passable? Don't you have an obligation to fucking stand up for the way you dress and be like, no, my shit is fucking on point. I'm fusing. Like, shouldn't you be selling yourself?
In a way, yes, but at the same time, like I'm like very. You actually touched on this earlier. Like, do I love myself? Like, that's something that I'm learning and that I've been struggling with my whole life. But fashion is one of those things that I love about myself.
For sure.
Because like I feel like I can wear whatever I want, and like I'm happy with that.
You look good, dude.
Thanks, man. But like other people don't share that sentiment. Like a lot of people are very self-conscious about what they wear and what they look like, so they have to like stick to like the rules of what that is and or what's acceptable by like the likes and the comments.
For sure.
Right? And I just don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and I think when you look at my Instagram, like sure, it's like professional looking, but like
it is.
You can't narrow it down to just one thing because I don't give a fuck. Shout out to my dad, my parents for like naming me Francis Kenneth because I've abused FK, like my initials. like heavily in my branding.
You've
dude.
been dropping the tagline this whole time, my bro.
Bro, like subconsciously, like I think everyone does. Like, so shout out to everyone who cusses, because y'all are helping me out,
dude. I remember you saying you dropping the FK, and me being like, oh, that's a smart play. Yeah, dude, you look really professional, and this is super neat. I shop the sale rack.
Yeah, dude, bro.
But I find like good. Like, let me show these motherfuckers my shoes,
bro.
These are Keds, bro.
Those are fire. Those are fire with the stripes.
Yeah, with the stripes. I like them because of the stripes. You know,
I fuck with those.
And I got a Neff beanie on my head. I do like dressing up. I just you know, I can't play poker at too many tables right now. I'll get to a point in my life where I'll up my fucking thing from just I actually did do a little bit of a fashion change in the recent days, and I went from a large t-shirt to a double XL, dog.
That's huge.
Yeah, so like, but it's my vibe.
Not literally, but like,
yeah. No, it's a big ass size t-shirt.
Change.
That is a big ass size t-shirt. I don't know, man. I just felt like the move. I had like the high socks. Mm-hmm. You know, I got the shorts going.
Yeah.
I just thought a baggy shirt, dude, and I was like, this is fashion, bro. I'm gonna get it with this shit.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, people have to keep in mind is like, again, the theme of this conversation is like, do you, man? Like, if you're comfortable and it makes you happy, then do it. Like for me, like changing my style up and doing whatever the fuck I want makes me happy. You know, like if I have to wear suits in every post, it would literally fucking kill me. Yeah. If I had to wear sneakers and like hype shit in every post, that would kill me. And you know, for better or worse, that's what makes my fashion. And I really fuck with your fits. Like, thanks, I genuinely do.
Thanks,
like,
bro.
I actually dress like that, like, regularly.
I think I've seen you in some gear like that. I think subconsciously I saw you in some shit like that.
Honestly, I think it's like
a music
South
thing.
Bay hardcore thing.
A music thing.
Yeah. Like, that's part of my style. You know what I mean? And I try to incorporate that.
Yeah.
Like, in my second post that you see there, like, I'm wearing a fucking Amoeba Music metal font tee. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, like, I used to like, and I'm guilty of that. Like, I used to hate on people's fits. Like, dude, that's like, those are whack shoes. Like Crocs, right? Everyone hates on Crocs. Uggs. Everyone hates on Uggs. Like, why? Like, that's just like, why am I putting out that negative energy?
Yeah.
Why are we putting that negative energy on ourselves to care so much?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. Do you? Wear whatever you want.
And whatever the fuck you want.
Like if someone
and not give a fuck.
Yeah, like if someone hates on your like your Payless shoes, your Walmart shoes, but like doesn't know like that's all your family can afford, like fuck them, dude. Yeah. Like it is what it is.
Don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Literally. Don't
give a fuck.
They shouldn't.
Yeah.
They shouldn't.
Let's end that. Fuck, dude. Let's send that shit off with the don't give a fuck one-liner right here.
Yeah.
My man fucking just at about 2 hours, my dog.
Do we?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I feel like we can talk for days.
I know, that was too easy, but
now that we're having like real conversations, we'll continue to have these offline.
We gotta have not only that, let's get you fucking back on.
Yeah.
And you can shed some light on the fucking fashion world.
Yeah, like actually talk about what I do.
Well, yeah. Well, see, this is how the podcast happens, though. Everybody talks like we're gonna do. Every time I'm getting ready to have a guest on, I hype like, okay, like we're gonna talk about fashion. We're gonna talk about like my Chinese watch, and I say Chinese watch because this shit is like for real.
Made in China.
Made in China. It was like $6, but when I flash it like this, it's just leather. See what I'm saying? It costs $6. And every time somebody sits in that chair, we get to crack in, and then next thing you know, we're talking about the Navy. We're talking about hardcore music. We're talking about, and that's just some of the things that this podcast brings, man. And
is like people's like actual true selves. Like,
yeah, dude.
What's raw.
Well, we can't hide what's really going on. And at the end of the day, a 9 to 5 in your job is just your job. And a lot of us aren't defined by just our jobs. There's so much more going on beneath the surface. And the point of this podcast is to dig a little bit deeper than than what's on the surface. And in doing so, I think that a lot of people that maybe recognize you as just a fucking, maybe this rock star with 21,000 followers gets to hear you talk, and they're like, this motherfucker is just a real ass dude, just like me, just like him, just like her, just like them. And in doing so, we become more connected with each other. We have a mutual respect for each other. We create a greater sense of community.
Facts.
And we just start fucking looking out for each other.
Yeah.
And that's the point of this whole motherfucking podcast.
Yeah, man. And honestly, like, it was an honor to be here. I learned so much about you.
You're coming back on.
Yeah. And yeah, dude, I'm really looking forward to continuing this conversation, both on the podcast and offline. We're homies now.
Yeah. Do you want to do a little fucking shout out, little plug for your own little jam right here, or what? How about for my people? Everybody go motherfucking follow Francis Kenneth. He's a professional fashionista. My man. You want to say?
I'm cringing.
You're cringing? He's just an all around good dude, man. If you have a sense for fashion, go give him a follow, because out of the squad, he's holding it down. If anybody, if we all have to dress up for something, we're probably hitting you up.
Maybe.
Well, maybe, but we're not hitting up Corey.
Yeah, like if they do end up following
Shout out Corey's dad hats.
Yeah.
But we're not hitting Corey up,
Like if whoever ends up following me, like, I hope we get to connect on some real shit. Like,
yeah.
Like, my page is just like visually like whatever for you to look at, but like hit me up in the DMs, like leave a comment on some real shit. Like, let's have these real conversations, because that to me is more important than anything that you're seeing on
That's
my Instagram.
exactly it. Real conversations. That's why we're in the business. Oh man, give me some. It's fucking good chilling. Everybody, I forget who's on Monday. I think we have I think Johnny Bernstein, who's like this fucking 220-pound fucking monster. He's a bodybuilder. He competes in bodybuilding competitions. And he's an influencer, and he gets to work every day, just like Francis Kenneth. This fool's got this fool is just a monster. So we'll be on Monday, 6 p.m. Thank you for coming on, my brother.
Yeah, man.
And
Appreciate
thank you all for fucking watching. Peace. Fuck yeah, homie.
Dude, that was fun.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate you. Fuck, dude, that was tight.
That was so fun.